You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Awkward After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Awkward After Show.
My back, lick my ass like that. My back. We're just having a dance party. Hey guys, welcome back to AfterBuzz TV Awkward After Show. It's season 4, episode 1. We're gonna have so much fun this season. Joining me, as always, I have Mr.
Jason Eichler.
And I'm your host, Tiana Hobson. Our 2 other co-hosts will be joining us. They just both couldn't be here tonight.
But that's all right, because we here.
We gonna get it poppin'. Like what? Because no woman is an island. That's the name of tonight's episode. So clearly there was a lot of sex going on.
A lot of sex going on.
There wasn't actually a lot of sex going on. There was a lot of sexual thoughts and sexual...
Well, and there was like weird montages that were almost like female porn. Do you know what I mean? Like, they were very pretty and they like... You felt like you were reading one of those dirty novels.
I did feel like I was reading a dirty novel tonight. Especially, there's just a lot of scenes. So let's jump into it. We're going to start by talking about Tamara. Clearly, she's got some tension going on that she needs a stress relief.
Sexual tension.
Sexual. I think it's just tension, and sex just helps relieve it.
Yeah. But she states, we come to find out, that she's never had an orgasm.
Well, not that she's never had an orgasm. That for the 101 orgasms that Jake has had.
But didn't she lose her virginity to Jake?
Yeah, but she said she's had maybe half of the amount that he's had.
I think she meant maybe half of an orgasm.
But she still said she had like 50.
No.
50
She said that's what, because he said you've had like half that amount, like 60, and she said no, if it was half, it would be 50. But she's saying she's not even had a single orgasm.
Oh, see?
Yeah, so...
That's why I keep you around.
That's why it's just easier to be a guy. You know?
No, I wouldn't.
It's not that much work to have an orgasm. Is anyone going to talk? We can talk about this. We're all adults here.
I just want you to keep going. I'm not a guy. I can't really chime in on how easy it is being a guy.
When you're a guy, it's like easy. And when you're a girl, I feel like they have, like most girls... generalizing, have to be like comfortable like with the person, and they fall in love with the guy's mind, and so all those things have to be right before they'll even have sex, and then the sex has to be so comfortable that then they can orgasm. Sorry, Mom. So
the more
when you finally reach climax.
All right. So she we know that last season she won for senior president or class president, I should call her. So she's very stressed out between that, college applications, and then they have this whole WikiLeaks scandal of, everyone's class ranks get leaked onto the internet, which I didn't think was a secret.
No, they announced ours.
Yeah, I was like, you could just go into the school directory and see what rank everyone was in.
What were you ranked?
I was not high, but I also had a class of like 1,000 people. So me being...
What were you ranked?
Me being in the 200s was actually pretty good still.
Okay. I think I was like 80.
Well, you went to a class with like 10 people, so...
Well, this is why Tiana was ranked low. Math, ladies and gentlemen.
So she's hired these 2 student videographers to capture the whole year. I did not catch their names. Hopefully, maybe next week they'll be back and I can get their names then. But they... were so funny to me. I loved them because they were just so random.
I feel like Awkward does that where they'll have certain people on the show for comic relief, and then they'll get a storyline as the show goes on, because I kind of feel like that's how Lissa started, and even Sadie. And then as the show progresses, people want to see them more, so then they get more of a plot.
Yeah, so I hope we get to see them more because they made Tamara's life hell, and it was great
Really
to
funny.
watch. It was really funny to watch. They start off by at the senior class photo, you know, they're like, this is stupid, why are we doing this? And then at the sleepover, they switch movies. Tamara wanted a Grease to High School Musical.
Which sounds amazing.
I wouldn't have been mad at it.
Yeah.
But they switched the movie to, gosh, what was it? Pink Flamingo, which was a John Waters movie that I've never
But he's
heard
the guy
of.
that did Hairspray, right? I believe he did the original.
The
Hairspray.
original. Okay, I was thinking
And
of the current one.
I don't want to say this because I don't know if it's true, but I'm pretty sure that the movie's about like some drag queen, and it's supposed to be really messed up, and it still, I guess, holds up today.
Well, yeah, it definitely scared the
Jesus out of us.
Yeah, the teenagers who were watching. Tamara finally gets them to turn it off though, and then they turn on Basket Case, which was, people seemed more into Basket Case than they were Pink Flamingo. I will say that, but I would have gone for Grease or High School Musical any day.
Me too. Camp Rock's where it's at.
Camp Rock. I'm sure that was on her list too. And then, you know, we have this new student. Her name was Eva.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she said Emma. So.
Eva, she's super hot, raspy voice, but she is not a high schooler. Casting department. I get that everybody on TV doesn't look like they're in high school, but she really doesn't look like she's in high school.
I feel like this was done on purpose because she's coming from New York. And they're from a smaller town in California, you know, where everyone looks
Aren't
one
they
way.
from
and
LA?
then Palo Alto, I mean, it's a little bit Palo Altos. So that's a little bit outside of LA. It's not like mainstream LA. So I think that, you know, it's supposed to show, you know, the New York teenager versus the California one.
It almost felt, though, like when she was talking to Maddie, too, which I guess is kind of in the casting, too, but like that she was so much older than them. Like,
I just thought she looked taller than everyone.
Maybe that's it.
She looked really tall.
Oh.
And everyone else looked
I mean,
really short.
I liked her character a lot, and I think she's a great actress. I just don't think she looks like a high school student.
Yeah, well, she was there kind of giving some knowledge to Tamara, even though Tamara didn't
What
really
did she
ask
say
her.
was the trick? I just wanted to see if you would say it.
I don't know what she said the trick was.
She said it's all about the, starts with the C and rhymes with pit. And there's an L in there. Roya, it's in the show. Roya, our lovely engineer, do you want to talk about this?
I'm afraid where you're going.
Well, she says in the bathroom when she overhears the two girls talking about Tamara's little situation that it's all about the clit. And
Which,
so-
I mean,
I must be really bad at spelling. That's not the word I got.
Oh, Roya. She
That's
wasn't
funny.
ranked high in her high school class either.
And I'm going to have to let you elaborate on this, Tiana, since I don't have one of those, nor have I ever touched one. So, all about you, sister friend.
I'm not going into the details of that right now, but we will talk about how knowledgeable Eva was in the subject because her parents seem like hippies. She talked about how they did opium in like the tundra of some country.
Just like a very cultured
a
girl.
cultured, well-traveled young lady who
Well-sexed.
well-versed in the sexual acts of everyone.
You're so proper.
I'm trying to be professional here.
It's okay. It's okay.
So finally, you know, after Tamara accidentally, when her and Jake go up to the football stadium announcer booth during the senior sleepover, she accidentally hits the microphone on right when she is announcing, "You're never gonna get me off," and so the whole class hears, and then everyone starts kind of chiming in to give her tips, and finally she takes some advice and uses her toothbrush.
Was that advice or was that just like an aha moment?
Well, Eva said that she needed, how did she expect for someone to get her off when she didn't know her own body, and that she should explore and know what she likes to tell her man what she wants him to do to her.
Which end of the toothbrush do you think she used?
I was wondering that.
I was going to say, I hope the thicker side.
No, but, okay, I can't even say this. I'll say this after because it's too dirty what I'm thinking.
I mean, I hope she didn't use the part that she puts in her mouth. I will just say that.
I don't even know. Should I say this?
No.
I need a moral compass. I'll hold it in. Tweet me, and I'll tell you what I think she did with the toothbrush at Jason Eichler.
Yes, do that, because I'm scared. So after she does that, though, she's a completely different person. She's walking into school, all smiles. Clearly it worked, so she should keep doing it, which she does. Again.
Do you think now maybe her and Jake are going to have to incorporate a toothbrush into the bedroom? It's the only thing that works.
I just hope that eventually she gets something that's a little more proper. Then, I get that she's improvising with the toothbrush, but, maybe it's time to go invest in something. Just saying. Just throwing that out there for you, girl.
Do you have to be 18 to buy one of those?
Do you?
I mean,
It's a sex store.
Oh, do you have to?
To go into them, yes.
Now, this is interesting, and this could get into a really deep discussion, actually, because you don't have to be 18 to buy condoms. So you can technically, this is very messed up of the American government, that you can buy things that let you pleasure other people when you're underage, but not yourself. What do we think about that?
So I think you guys need to find a minor and see if you can have them go into a sex shop and buy something.
Buy condoms.
I was like, where's she going with this?
I know,
Find
with
a
the minor
thing.
This seems very dangerous.
This does not seem like a good idea.
Yeah, but I wonder if you do have to be 18 to buy a vibrator.
Well, if you're going into a sex shop, you have to be 18. If you don't look 18, they will ask for ID. I get carded all the time. Not that I spend all my time in the sex shop. Wait a minute.
Wait, do they sell... Again, I'm a guy, I don't really have to use these sorts of things. But do they sell vibrators at places that aren't sex shops? I bet you could buy one.
You can get them at like a passion
Amazon.
party.
Amazon, people. There you go. Amazon doesn't
you
card.
can definitely get it. They also have passion parties where people come to your house and sell things. It's kind of like a Tupperware party, except it's
With passion.
sex toys and different erotic
Now,
things.
I would apologize for being so inappropriate, but you have to blame MTV because that's what they made the episode
This is all they were
about.
talking about tonight. I mean, I have like 5 pages of notes about
Vibrations.
vibrations.
We
and
should have played
whatnot.
Got Them Good Vibrations.
Well, let's move on to someone else who's having some fantasies in tonight's
Of her
episode.
own. Here we go.
Of her own. So we opened the show up with Jenna having a very, very naughty dream involving everyone. She's like an author and
It wasn't a dream, though. She was, what did they call it? Flicking the lobster? I think that's what they use. Not me. Their words, not mine.
It's just so great when you say things like that. Well, I mean, yeah, she was visualizing while she was playing with herself. And her parents walk in, of all people, to
Has
be
that
like,
ever happened to you,
No.
Roya?
No, there's a thing called a lock.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
you think with how her household works, she would have thought to lock the door because her parents do just walk in a lot. She's also got that back door where people can come in and out as they please. I just feel like Jenna needs to start locking doors.
I think my parents were naive enough, though. Like, if they walked in on me and I had covers over, they wouldn't even think anything of it.
Oh.
They'd be like, "Oh, did your leg itch?" Yeah, Mom.
Yeah, Mom. But I did love the way that her mom covered it, because her mom is just like, "Oh, everyone does it. It's okay." And then they're at breakfast and she's putting syrup on Jenna's pancakes and goes, "Oops, over squirted." And you just see Jenna's dad freaking out like a typical dad would do if he walked in on his daughter masturbating. But then her mom's just like, "It's okay. I've walked in on you plenty of times."
With your laptop.
With your laptop out and everything. So, I mean, it's fun to see the dynamic of how open her mom is and how kind of closed her dad can
is.
be.
I mean, I think if you're a dad, though, and that's your teenage daughter, that you walk in touching herself, it's probably got to be uncomfortable and not something you necessarily want to talk about.
I mean, I also like that, her mom tried to get her a vibrator at the mall later on.
Who's either Dr. Laura or Dear Abby or something? I guess back in the day there was this huge hubbub because she encouraged parents to teach their kids to masturbate. I don't know which one it was. Hopefully Dear Abby. But because then they find the pleasure in themselves, and young girls don't feel like they have to go to other guys to get pleasure when you can do it yourself.
I mean, I agree with that. I think that's actually a It
That's
makes
a great
sense.
lesson we've learned.
It makes sense. Thank you, Jason, for Jason facts.
Thank you. I don't know if it was Dr. Laura or Dear Abby, but it's probably in the Bible.
Yes.
Definitely.
So Jenna has a new goal for this year. She gets to school, and like everyone else, she finds out that her class ranking is actually 137. First question is, how big is the class? Because like I said, I went to a big high school, so my class had 900 something people. So being 137 out of 900 whatever, I feel like is not bad. If it's out of
It's above
200,
average.
then maybe it's time
Maybe
to
you're doing
switch
something
gears.
wrong.
I don't know. I thought she was going to be like dead last or something.
Yeah, I don't think it was that bad either, but it's funny watching this show because it like brings you back to high school. And senior year is so stressful because you have to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life when you're 16.
I think you're 18 in your senior year of high school.
Like going into it though, you apply for college summer before.
At
I was
17?
I was 16 going into it, okay? I was a little smarter than you.
I think that's just because your birthday's in July.
That's true. Either way.
Either way, you're wrong. And so she's stressing
We
now.
don't all get to be 19 in high school, Tiana.
I was 18. She's stressing out now, like everyone else senior year, because now she's, oh crap, I'm only at 137. Her SAT scores aren't that great. How's she going to get into college? So who does she go to but reliable, dependable, good old-fashioned Val.
Val.
Oh, how I've missed Val over this break.
Over this break, and now she's reinstated in the school.
Basically, Val says, hey, why don't you just redo your junior year? Try not to go off the deep end like you did last year. It'll give us more time to hang out with each other and bond.
And get MTV a pass for another season. It seems like it would all make sense.
It would, right? But basically, Val does give her some good advice, which we all know it's rare when Val does this. But she says that she needs to be more active. Jenna doesn't have any extracurriculars to put on her resume. She needs to figure out her brand and
I was
define
trying
herself.
to think if she did anything, and she did that thing back in the day where she would write at the coffee remember, she like wrote a poem or something and read it at the coffee shop?
That was part of her class.
Oh, that
she
was an
had to do it.
extracurricular. So
No.
she hasn't literally done anything.
That was Mr. Hart making them.
Okay.
Or, she
maybe
got in
she
a fight
could
with him.
maybe she could post her journals or something.
I mean, she could technically do that. I think that last time she posted her journals, though, it became this whole big thing. And so that's why she moved them back to private. So maybe start a new journal where she's not giving away too much details about everything. But she's got to figure out how to get into college. And it's not going well. So then we go to the senior sleepover, which let's talk about this senior sleepover. Do schools allow you to just have co-ed sleepovers in the middle of a grass field?
Well, we did it
without it being separated by like boys over here and girls over here.
We did it, but it was called a lock-in. So you were there overnight, but nobody really slept.
Oh.
But this is like kind of set up for sleeping.
It's definitely set up for a lot of things, especially having Val in charge, because as Val's walking through the thing, listing the rules of what you can and cannot do, everyone behind her is doing that. She's like, no drinking. Everyone busts out their red cups and cans. Like, no jacking off. And, you see someone with their hand underneath the sleeping bag. It's just everything she says.
I don't think I've
already
ever
happening.
talked about masturbating more in my life than I have in these past 20 minutes.
This is true. This is definitely
You're
true.
welcome.
You're welcome. But at the sleepover, Maddie and Jenna start hanging out a little bit.
I think that's super cute because I wanted her to be with Colin all last season, but now that we know he's not signed on to come back on the show, those hopes and dreams have faded.
So you're a flip-flopper.
I'm not a flip-flopper. I think we all change and we all grow, and our opinions are allowed
Last
to
season,
change.
Maddie was like the most horrible person in your mind.
No, not horrible. Horrible for Jenna. But now she's changed and realizes that they're okay to be together. Colin's not going to be on the show, so I have to want her to be with somebody.
I want everyone to go back and listen to how much he was hating on the Jenna Maddie thing last season, just so that we're clear.
No, it's because I loved Colin so much, but Colin's gone. So now it's like if somebody moves away, you got to move on to somebody else. Or move back to somebody else.
They didn't even bring up Colin tonight.
I think it was clear like last season where he went. I can't remember.
Nope.
No?
I rewatched the finale. Him and Jenna's last interaction was in Mr. Hart's class when he was turning in his paper of who do I want to be. And Jenna was...
Was he a
turning in
junior
his.
as well?
Maybe he was a senior.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but they
can't
didn't
remember.
address him.
They didn't address Colin tonight, really. But, I mean, that's
But
good.
anyway, I liked them holding hands on the
Waking
grass
up,
field.
holding hands.
That was really cute.
That was really cute. I love their whole interaction, them talking. They haven't seen each other all summer. Jenna also ran into Maddie at the mall when she was with her mom, and he's working at Preston and Boone, which
The
is
fake Abercrombie and Fitch.
Abercrombie and Fitch. He's the hot male
Yeah, I
model
love
on the
how they
outside.
pulled that thing where they totally blasted Abercrombie and Fitch too, because
Yes.
like the overweight ladies come up and he's like, "We've got a code red," and then you see the two guys come and escort
I
them
didn't
out.
even think about that
Yeah,
part. Oh
that's
my
why-
gosh.
That's why they did it. They were totally blasting Abercrombie,
I get it now.
and you could tell. I think they
Smart.
actually filmed it at an Abercrombie and just changed the title of the store because the poster they had in the back is identical to the ones.
Maybe they were at a Hollister because I don't think Abercrombie would have given them clearance to shoot at their store if they were going to.
Blast it.
Blast 'em
I wonder
like
if
that.
they knew though. Who knows?
That's true. Or it could be really good set designing and they just shot it on a set and made it look like Abercrombie.
Oh, maybe. Either way, kudos to you.
Kudos to you. That was a great burn for Abercrombie because, you know, they're not good people. Just that. But at the mall when Jenna runs into Maddie, she asked him about what's her face, Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, yeah, that kind of fizzled out right after prom, and I haven't talked to her in a couple of months. I think she moved away. So Jenna knows that Maddie's single now, and I love the flirtations that they're having.
Well, and it was weird because it was kind of unclear what happened to him over the summer. And
I
I
went
thought,
to soccer camp.
I know, but I thought there was going to be more to it
Oh.
because she was so weirded out. Like, what did he do this summer? I thought something super mysterious. I don't know. I was hoping for something juicy, but it was just soccer camp.
I just feel like if he knew Jenna's feelings because at prom Jenna told him, I was hoping you were going to ask me because I didn't know the door on us was closed. He's like, I didn't know it was still open. Things didn't work out with Bailey. You have all summer, you go off to camp away from Jenna, not the usual camp that they worked at together. But he never called her or anything. That to me makes me think that he's not interested in getting back together with her.
I think though maybe too because they say absence makes the heart grow fonder, and I think after she did all that with him, he kind of rebounded, and then he like just needed time to chill and not be with her. Like he could have been with a random girl over the summer, we don't know, but it seems like she was the love of his life, and then she like took his heart out and stomped on it. So maybe he wasn't even planning on getting back together with her, and then it just kind of happened.
Okay.
That's what I think.
All right, I'll let you have that opinion.
Okay. Good.
Um,
Finally.
finally, I'm gonna let you have a voice.
Wow.
Jenna's also at the same time where her and Maddie are flirting with each other. She's trying not to let boys distract her and stay focused on her essays.
Which is hard to do.
Boys are very distracting.
I know.
I mean, I'm distracted just looking at Jason constantly.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
I just lost my train of thought. I looked at you. I'm sorry. But she finally gets inspired.
And when I get distracted, I just find my handy dandy toothbrush and go to town.
No. So she finally gets inspiration and starts writing her college essays, which I loved how they put, you know, her stupid answers for questions in there and starting to type out with, you know, this is stupid, I suck. Because I feel like not everyone, but I definitely...
I enjoyed writing my college essay.
I definitely hated everything about that process and thought the questions were the stupidest things in the world for them to expect me to answer and to be original and unique and not sound generic. And I seriously would start off my essays with like, this is dumb. I hate my life. And then eventually you kind of get into it.
Well, which is weird because writing is like the thing that she's most good at. So I'm like, you should kind of be owning this.
I feel like it was writer's block, and then she kind of got in the groove and she was really going, and then knock, knock, knock at that door. Who is it?
Maddie.
I was like, are you going to answer my question?
I thought it was rhetorical.
Oh, nope, I looked at you. So Maddie's at the door, and I think everyone thought he was coming over for a little bit more of what was
Midnight
happening.
snack.
Yeah, midnight snack. Turns out he just wanted her to help him write his college
Which, you know what,
essays.
good for him, because he should use her a little bit.
Hey,
She deserves it.
you got to use your friends to help you
Yeah,
out.
exactly. That's what friends are for.
That's what friends are definitely for. And if I had a friend who was good at writing papers, I would definitely go to them and be like, hey, could you proofread this for me? Maybe jazz it up a little bit and see what they had to say.
My mom was an English major, so she took care of all of that. I didn't need friends.
Clearly. Jenna blows up at Maddie over this because she thought he was coming over for her, and he didn't. He
Which
came
is
over for help.
kind of my problem with Jenna. I like love her to death, but she's like a ticking time bomb, and you don't know, like, she can take anything, and then one day she'll just like blow it.
I think in this case, it was a factor of the theme of tonight is that everyone is stressed out and busy and has a ton of things to do, but everyone deals with it differently. And Jenna didn't know how to deal with it in that moment because she was expecting one thing. She let herself get a little excited, and then she blew up at him and immediately felt bad about it. She knew she was in the wrong immediately.
But I just feel like she's done so many horrible things to him. Like, hey, maybe be a little more cautious around him.
But at least now she's noticing quicker that
That's
she's
true.
being...
She's growing up a little bit.
She's growing up. She's recognizing the error of her ways, and she is being a better person every day. I am all about Jenna right now.
Okay.
Don't mess with me.
No messing. I'm all about Sadie right now. Can we talk about her?
Well, first we have to mention that Jenna eventually does apologize to Maddie and goes over and helps him, and then they hook up on her bed, which we're going to talk about in predictions, what we think is going to happen next. And before we talk about Sadie, we're going to talk about iTunes. So make sure you guys go onto iTunes, find our podcast, AfterBuzz TV Awkward After Show, and you can rate us on there, give us 5 stars, leave us a comment, and tell us what you like and what you don't like about the show, and we'll be sure
About our show. I don't like when people don't like something about Awkward and then they rate us for it. I just want to be clear.
Oh, yeah. If it's something that's a storyline, we have no creative control over this show. So sorry in advance on that one. But while you're on the internet, you can also check us out on YouTube and you can leave comments on there.
Hey, comment what you think she did with the toothbrush, because that would be a really fun conversation.
I guess so. Do what Jason says. So make sure you check us out on iTunes and on YouTube. Let's talk about Sadie.
Yes, I love Sadie so much, and she is on her A game as she rolls up into the school for the first time and just rips it into those 2 twin girls.
Well, first she starts off by ripping on Jenna.
Oh yeah, what did she say? Hope you don't try to kill yourself. Better luck this time, or something.
Sadie is Jason in a female form, and I think that's why he loves her so much.
I feel like maybe I do.
I feel like maybe it's a little too much. But, clearly she's telling everyone that her sponsored tweets are going very well. That's how she gets the nice little benzo that she's rolling around in.
Which, you know what? Fake it till you make it.
Or don't.
Oh, I think it's all about...
Real?
It's all about how it looks.
But I also think that it's something that everyone's going to find out eventually anyway, so why be embarrassed later for a little bit of
because
spotlight?
That's part of her aura and who she is. I don't know why I said aura. But because everybody already knows she lost her money. And so I think like she hated that feeling. So she's working, she's doing what she has to do. And if you want to say you get your money from tweets and you don't, more power to you.
I mean, I'm all about, that being the case, but I just don't understand Sadie's attitude towards people, even when she's been through so much.
I think that's why, because she hates being vulnerable, because she's had so much stuff happen to her.
Yeah, I guess. And then she wants to be the cheer.
She's like an onion.
Just peeling back the layers.
Uh-huh.
You're ridiculous. She also wants to be the cheer captain. And so she's going around bullying the cheerleaders into making them vote for her.
Now, you say bullying. I say persuading.
I could also say blackmailing.
Yeah, I like blackmailing better.
You like blackmail better than bully?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's not, like, hurting anybody. She's just telling them, like, do this for
hurting
me
their
or I will hurt you. It's more of a threat.
Well, Lissa apparently was on a family trip to Africa.
Saving people.
Hasn't made it back yet, but makes it back to cheer practice just in the nick of time for captain voting. And it ends up being a dead tie between Sadie and Lissa. The deciding vote has to come from Jenna gee, wonder who she's voting for.
But if Jenna actually cared about the cheer team, Lissa is a nut job. Like, Sadie might be a Bia, but at least she knows what she's doing. Lissa, she had like baby food in her hair.
No, that was throw up because her
even better.
new adopted brother got
Threw
sick
up
on
in her
the
hair.
plane ride.
Yeah.
Which,
So-
fast forward, when you find out that her little adopted brother is actually an
18.
18-year-old black man, it's kind of
He was
disgusting.
cute, too.
It's kind of disgusting that he threw up in her hair and she hasn't cleaned it up yet.
Yeah, that's actually very disgusting.
Infant throw up, that's
Reasons
cute.
why she shouldn't be the cheer captain, and Sadie should.
I can understand that. I think that Lissa will end up being a little bit over her head. I think that it will be similar to last season when Tamara ran for class president over Jake and won, that Lissa's not going to realize how much responsibility and effort goes into having to maintain the cheer squad.
Okay.
Kind of how Tamara is realizing now that there's a lot for the class president to do, and it's not just, you know, a dick around thing. I couldn't think of any other phrase. I'm sorry.
No worries.
But Sadie loses on the captainship, I guess. Lissa believes that she was called on by the people, like she's Jesus.
She's crazy.
but I love her kind of crazy because
You know what, I
she's
like
just
that?
Jesus Christ superstar crazy.
I like that though because I know so many people like that in high school.
Yes. Who are just
AKA my family. But I think it is funny because actually I'll talk about that in news and gossip, so stay tuned.
a little teaser.
As long as my phone doesn't die, we will have some great news and gossip today.
And I also love that Alyssa makes it seem like she's completely saved this small African child from, you know, his demon ways, and, you know, they saved his soul. Turns out he's 18 years old. He was in school in England, and he was raised Catholic. So he wasn't really that horrible
We
as a
thought they
person.
pulled like a Brad and Angelina.
They
did it.
They did it. But I love the spin, and I kind of want everyone
was
to
just
start
funny,
dating her
yeah.
brother.
I know. I feel like he's gonna come in and that's gonna be drama.
Yeah, that should definitely be something.
I feel like maybe Sadie should drop the guy she's with and get with him.
I don't know. Sadie's in love right now. Sadie's also working at a food truck, we found out.
I know.
Jenna-
I feel. See, this is why I love Sadie because I feel so bad for her, but then I love how she portrays herself, so nobody feels bad for her.
Yeah, I mean, Jenna sees her at that food truck hangout with her dad, and it was just sad because you know that the girl's struggling, and then you see her interaction with Allie in the car, who Allie's been letting her drive the car around because Sadie can blow and not have any alcohol in her system to get the car started. Which
is sad.
maybe we shouldn't let Allie drive. She was just passed out in the back seat while you were working your entire shift and didn't really care about it. So just throwing that one out there. TV's not promoting responsibility.
This is why I love Awkward so much because it takes like these very serious topics and it makes you laugh at them.
Yeah, it really does. And what did Allie say when she walked into Sadie's room and she was on the bed with her boyfriend? I forget his
Are you guys
name
about
right
to
now,
do
too.
it or something?
Yeah, but then she goes, Do you hear about Jenna getting caught by her mom? She goes, that little bitch had a little itch. I just thought that was funny. I love Allie.
That is funny.
Yeah, so then the last thing we're going to talk about for tonight's episode is Ming.
Where's Ming?
Poor little Ming. A lot of people moved, apparently, during our little break from the show. Ming being one of them. Ming is gone. There was 2 mentions of Ming. One was Fred Wu, just being like, I can't believe Ming left. I miss her so much. And the second one was Allie, who was like, oh yeah, I heard she's in Vermont at a boarding school trying to get into a good college. Maybe it was the Asian mafia who relocated her. All I got was a letter from her parents and, you know, like her little beanie hat. But I don't know. We don't know what happened.
I'm
to
finding
Ming.
out what happened right now from the showrunner in real life. So
Okay.
Jessica Liu, who plays Ming, is not returning because she wanted to move on. And so they kind of just took her out of the story arc. So this was a choice from the actual character that plays Ming.
the actual person who
Yeah,
plays the character Ming.
Whatever. And so she is not there for personal choices.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
Bad
like, they
choice.
could have given a little bit more
Yeah.
love to Ming, because it seems like she left on her own terms and she left on a good note. So why not be like, oh no, maybe it'll be something else that occurs. Maybe it is the Asian mafia who.
I have a feeling they're just going to leave it out now, though.
Yeah, they're probably not.
Because that's what they
mention
do
Ming
on these
anymore.
shows. Like, if you watch Glee or Gossip Girl or any high school show, they'll, like, say it in passing what happened to somebody, and then they're gone.
Yeah, I feel bad because Ming was growing on me. Her and Fred Wu had finally gotten Becca to make a deal to leave them alone and let them be happy, and everything was just going so great.
Not no more.
Now she's gone, and then we don't know where Colin is. Still don't know. anything.
I don't think they'll mention him anymore either, because he's moved on to
left.
other projects as well.
Yeah. Interesting.
Which I feel like he's going to have a huge career. Launching pad. He was in that movie with Lindsay Lohan. Anyone
What
see
movie?
it? Nope, the Canyons one. The recent one.
The Canyons.
I think it's called Canyons. Started the Canyons or something. But he's in that. He's pretty good.
He's in a Vin Diesel movie too. Anyways, that's off subject. Let's get into news and gossip, Jason.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So my news and gossip is.
This better be good because you kind of teased it.
I did. It's kind of funny because it's about. Are you ready?
Yes.
Greer Grammer, who plays Lissa on the show. And first funny fact, she got cast as one of the Disney princesses at Disneyland, and she skipped orientation to go audition for Awkward.
Oh.
And if you missed orientation, you don't get to do Disney. And so she said she's wanted to be a Disney princess since she was a kid. And so she was like, I don't know what to do. And so luckily she landed Awkward. And then kind of funny, when her character was first in the script, she was just going to be sort of like the bitchy sidekick. And then they started adding in like one-liners about like Jesus and religion. And then that all got added as the show went on. That wasn't originally in her character description.
Oh, that's
And then we also find out that she said she really relates to this season of Awkward because she's actually a student at USC in addition to filming Awkward. So she's trying to balance everything too.
Oh, look at that.
There you go.
Jason facts.
Facts by Jason.
And then I read online, I can't find the article right now. Oh, here it is. Brett Davern, who plays Jake on Awkward, was in a race this past weekend. He won the pro/celebrity race.
Like a running race?
No, for NASCAR, or it was at Long Beach. It's one of those car racing things. I'm trying to read the article right now.
You got a lot of details about this.
Sorry. He was racing. He did this charity thing last year, and he came in second place, and he called these people, begged them to let him race again as a celebrity because he's really into race car stuff. Him and Bo did that movie together, Born to Race, Fast Track. And Brett actually grew up spending a lot of time in his uncle's like go-kart racing shop and stuff. So he's really into car racing. And so he got to compete again this year, and he took first place.
Oh, wow.
So congrats to him.
Who
Who knew? Celebrities with other talents.
Weird.
NASCAR. I hope he doesn't
NASCAR.
retire and go start NASCAR.
Yeah, that'd be dumb.
Yeah.
He's too hot for that.
All right, let's get into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, I think Maddie is gonna. He's with Jenna now, but that's way too easy. Like, for the story, it's just too nice. So they're gonna kind of get back together, and then he's gonna fall for Eva.
Okay, I was going to say, I feel like Eva's going to play a factor in this love triangle this season. She seems more like a woman, and everyone else at this school seems like little boys and girls. So I think she'll come in and lure Maddie away a little bit.
Do you remember when Nikki DeLoach was here?
Mm-hmm.
And she hinted that Jenna might have some lesbian things coming up? Do you think that's Jenna and Eva?
Oh, that could be fun.
Just throwing it out there.
That could be a lot of fun.
That could be kind of hot, too.
I also want to figure out what's going on in Jake's life, that he is apparently a 40-year-old man going through a midlife crisis right now, because his whole, like,
Oh, his Jake
hippie,
over.
his Jake over thing. I was like, Jake, ooh, sweetie, let's clean it up a little bit.
Sweetie pie.
Sweetie pie honey bunches of oats. All right, guys. Well, let's keep the conversation going. Make sure you go onto iTunes and YouTube and leave us some comments there. And you can also keep the conversation going on Twitter. Jason, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Jason Eichler.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at the Tiana Hobson. And you can find AfterBuzz TV all over social media at AfterBuzz TV. Until next week, guys, we will see you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
You're welcome.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.